Howdy ho, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Den of Tools. It is March 18th, which means it's time for Deals of the Week! All right, we got a ton of hot deals here for you. We got a couple, it's like some sleeper deals. It's like they don't want you to know there's deals going on for some reason, but there's some real, like this springtime fall off a cliff. You haven't seen it for the last 4 years kind of pricing. So let's jump into it. Oh, first I want to thank a couple of today's sponsors. The first one is Asperix. That's the name, Asperix. But anyway, it's a jump starter here. They reached out to me. They said, you guys cover a bunch of other jump starters. We think we got one that's a good contender here for you. It's got the simple kind of thing, you press the button, turns on the light, that sort of thing. In fact, it's even got, if you press and hold, it even turns on the old flashlight thing up front there for you. Don't alter that away there because it does go through the whole flashy thing. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know why they do the whole flashy thing. But I will say this, it seems like a well-built jump starter. Good solid display on it. Let me throw it over here on the bench. You can take a look at it. There it is. You see it's currently sitting at 73%. They just got this. They're like, make sure you charge it and everything before your first use. It comes with a nice set of cables there, a good little booster here, nice little boost switch, not your basic little cheap ones. So I would say that's a win on that case. We got a couple cables. We got a charging cable. We got a USB-C cable. This one is a USB-C to USB-C. And then we got the old cigarette lighter kind of deck because you can use it as a power bank as well. On the downside, they give you a little cheap bag. I would have preferred a case. But you know what? It is what it is. That said, let's look at the price on this sucker. We're looking at $90, $89.99, call it what it is. But there's a $30 off coupon on that. So you're looking at $60. Now they're saying this is a 4,500 amp peak jump starter, which would be the most powerful one that we've ever seen. I could take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt, but still, for $60, that's coming in at mid to low range on most jump starters. And based on the build quality on this, I think it's definitely worth the $60. That's for sure. So if you don't have one of these in your vehicles, get one for your vehicle. And again, even if it's not for you, my wife and my son, they were at a wrestling tournament. We were all at the wrestling tournament, but I left early. And after he won state, because, what else is there after that? Anyway, yeah, just a proud papa gloating, I know. They were leaving, and somebody else in their car was dead, and their jumper cables wouldn't work. They had cheap, crappy jumper cables. And the wife said, hey, I got something, I think it'll work. Pulled it out. And it was so easy. My son, who's 12 years old, set it up and did the whole thing for him, got him going. He got to be the hero of the day and win state. So good on you, Griff. Anyway, go and check them out. This is Asperix. They're a new sponsor of the channel here. Again, for $60, can't say enough about that. All right, and next up is LGU, the Laser Level. We've talked about them here on the channel a bunch. I have one of the higher end ones that they make, but this is a good, solid entry level one. I mean, it comes with the semi-rigid case, the bracket, the batteries, the whole 9 yards there. For just doing basic laser level kind of stuff, this is a great option here. You're coming in at $40 on this. There's a 5% off coupon, and I'm going to get you another coupon on top of that. Let me just check my numbers here because I want to make sure I get it right. 15% code on top of that. Now, that code is going to be down below, and like if you click where it says the description of the video, if you click see more, that's how you get, there's all the links and any of the extra codes and stuff we got for you. So they're all going to be down below as usual. Anyway, so for $40, take 5% off of that. That's going to be $2, and you're going to knock another 15% off of that. I'll let you do the math on that one. So good luck there. Anyway, next up, we've got the Southwire here, the old Southwire. Again, Southwire is well known for doing a lot of the sparky tools and accessories and stuff. Here you got a 50-foot, 12x3 SJTW heavy-duty 3-prong extension cord coming in normally at $45. It's coming in at just under $30 at $29.60, limited time deal. Now I got a second option for you here, and pretty much essentially the same thing. Yellow Jacket dropped the price on there, 12x3 heavy duty 15 amp SJTW cord. Pretty much the same product, $29.99. I guess basically you get your choice of Yellow Jacket or Southwire. Which one you prefer? You know what? Let me know. I mean, I've been pretty much a big fan of Southwire's products, but I have Yellow Jacket cords. They work great. Do you guys have any experience with them? What would you rate? Would you go Southwire or Yellow Jacket? Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys got to say about it. Anyway, next up, we've got Bosch. Of course, you know, I love talking about the Bosch corded tools, and the Bosch, they make fantastic grinders. This is your Bosch GWX10. This is with the paddle switch. This has got the X-Lock on it, which means it's going to be super easy to change the discs on it. Trust me, I'm constantly looking for one of my grinder wrenches so I can change a disc. It's, you know, I've got some grinders where they'll actually store the wrench in the handle, but this, you don't need it. It's just built in, quick change on it. And this is one of these buy it for life kind of tools here. Bosch makes fantastic, can't recommend it enough, corded tools. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I've been down on the Bosch cordless stuff, but that's just because they don't really run the big sales. They don't really care about the retail buyer like you and me. They're like, we're going to sell to fleet accounts and they're going to pay what they pay. But if you want the sales, for some reason, on the corded stuff, they're more than willing to knock it down 41% off of MSRP. I will take that. Next up, we got Estwing. Estwing, this is a hard one to find deals on. I'm a huge, huge fan bearer of Estwing, and I'm constantly looking for deals for you all. And this is, one of these hidden deals. This thing's coming in at $33.99, and let me look at the price tracking on this. This is normally selling in the 50s to 60s, and they haven't marked it as a sale. It's not marked as a sale. It's nothing. It's just quietly, hey, here's a 10-pound, $50, $60 sledge for $33, and no one knows about it apparently. Anyway, next up we've got, again, kind of the same thing. We got the 10-pound sledge with the synthetic handle here, coming at $30.99. Again, this is another one that is normally selling for about $45, honestly, and here we got it at $31. I can't say enough about Estwing. I love their products. Anyway, we got the Gorilla carts. This is a great garden around the yard kind of thing. The thing is robust. It won't scratch or rust because it's plastic. It's got the dump cart features that go with it. 600-pound capacity, easy pull handle. It's normally list on it's $209, but it's currently on sale right now down to $109, which is a pretty solid price on that. This is honestly one that bounces around. This is the go-to sell price on this, but with it being spring, I thought I'd throw it in here, or close enough to spring. And I would say work smart, not hard. I'm getting ready and packing up to head down to the National Hardware Show down there in Las Vegas. And I'm always looking for stuff like this that carry gear around and whatnot. $36.79, down 26% off, 165-pound rated. Nice two-wheel dolly system there, folds flat and folds right down for easy storage there. Throw it in your trunk or back of your truck or whatnot, and then springs to life when you need it. It's got a couple bungees on it, keep everything where it's supposed to be. For $36, save yourself some hassles and get something like this. All right, next up, we got some Irwin speed bore. I love the Irwin speed bore. I got to tell you, I've tried a lot of the stuff out there and the Diablos and all that kind of stuff. I have not had a problem with the Irwin speed bore. They just work. And this is their stubby set. Like, I don't know why. I guess maybe you need a stubby set. Work it in small places, I guess, stuff like that. Anyway, what you got here is you're looking at a sale price of 39% off a list, coming in at $21.99, $22 on that one. Next up, we got Einhell. I've talked about this before. This is your DIY, upper level DIY. I won't call it like full speed prosumer, but definitely upper level DIY, mostly sold in Europe. I think maybe sold in Australia. I don't remember exactly, but check this out. You're getting the whole kit here. You're getting the battery, you're getting the charger, you're getting the USB adapter, you're getting the flashlight, and you're getting the bag. That looks like a pretty decent bag there. All of that with the drill. Can't forget the drill in here, coming in at $56. If you just need a one-off drill kind of thing, Einhell, they've got a decent system out there. And I tell you what, they go on sale fairly often. This is a limited deal here. 28% of this is currently claimed. So if you're going to want one of these, make sure you jump on it quick. Next up, we've got this is hilarious. This is the, what is that called? These tools, yeah, there's a joke there. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, this is an impact wrench that they say will do 900 foot-pounds. Come on, Torque Test Channel, you need to jump in on this deal here. Brushless high torque impact wrench coming in at $120. But there's a 20% off coupon, so that's going to knock, was it $12, $24 off? So that's sub 100. With no battery. And why no battery? Because it's DeWalt. Well, it's not DeWalt. It uses DeWalt batteries. Okay, so if you're in the black and yellow line and you want a cheap impact wrench, they'll easily do 900. I mean, why don't we just call it 1,000? It should be, I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know much about this. It's got 5-star ratings. They probably bought them all. Or their sisters and cousins. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, at sub $100, I don't know, I might roll the bones on it. If you do, I want to hear about it because I'm super curious about it. Anyway, it seems like a deal. Let me know what you think. Anyway, next up we got Dremel. There's the big name brand 3000. This is a good workhorse, everyday use kind of Dremel. Coming in at 21% down to $59.48 on that one. Next up, we got Craftsman. Check this out. The Craftsman Planer 2-knife. This is not a top end. This is similar to the Bauer, but I think at this price, it's cheaper than the Bauer. Last Bauer price I saw was like $325 or something. Here you're getting the full warranty and the Craftsman, and it looks in red just like the Bauer one over at Harbor Freight for $300. If you're looking for a budget planer, brother, this might be the deal right now. 36% off a list down to $300. Next up, check this out, mag drill. I know a lot of you have been asking about mag drills. I've been wanting to pull the trigger on one at $180. I don't know. Is it going to have enough oomph? I don't know. It's 500 RPM, 10 speed, electric drilling. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, for $180, I might buy one just to play with it. I don't know, though. I got a bunch of stuff going on. I got all sorts of spring projects that have been pushed back all winter that I need to jump on. I don't need to know if I need to get another project. Oh, come on. You know I do. Anyway, Skill 12 volt. I love me some Skill 12 volt. It's my favorite DIY level 12 volt tool. And I've got several of them. I've got this tool. Bought it as part of a combo kit. And granted, it's not the cheapest, like the combo kit once every year or two. And that's when I say the combo kit, I mean where you get the drill, the impact, the battery, and the charger. Comes down like $70, $75. Happens once in a blue moon. But this is a good solid deal. And if you've been thinking about getting into the Skill 12 volt line, and you should consider it. All the Skill 12 volt stuff is all brushless. It's all made by Sherman. It's really well made, and they're really a great bang for the buck. And at $50, you're getting yourself a brushless drill driver with battery and a charger for $50. Come on. All right. DeWalt. We got the DeWalt Air Filtration Center. I got to be honest, I didn't know they made this. This popped up and I'm like, is this something new? I don't know. Limited time deal. It's 10% off. Get a filter of something. I don't care if you tape an air filter to your box fan. If you got a wood shop, man, you got to have some filtration. That dust and stuff. And the bags they put on those dust vacs and stuff, those are, unless it's the HEPA bags. I'm talking about the big, not dust collectors, but you know I'm talking about the shop vacs, just not shop vac. Anyway, I can't think today. It's Monday. I'm still waking up. Anyway, point is that you need real air filtration. So get yourself something like this. If you don't go with the DeWalt, go with something else, but just take a look at it and shop around because I don't want any just damaging your lungs. It's a terrible thing. All right. Next up, we got Craftsman. We got 8-inch and 10-inch two-piece groove joint pliers, a.k.a. tongue and groove, a.k.a. channel locks. Of course, channel locks the brand name. Anyway, they're decent little pliers. Are they top of the line? No. But for $15 for a two-pack, nice cushion grip on it, that, you know, for the DIY around the house kind of stuff, that's not a bad deal. We got the Rue tool. Of course, this has been a big fan favorite here on the channel. Everyone loves it when these things drop on sale. You're looking at $13.39. My bad, $13.39 and a 5% off coupon. Don't forget to click the coupon. That's that little box right here. You click that and make sure you add your 5% off on a checkout. Now, this is what they call a Japanese style pole saw. It's a 6-inch double edge. And the thing is, it's super flexible, so you can do flush cutting with it, all sorts of stuff. This is a great around. I mean, even if you aren't a serious woodworker, there are times, I mean, I have a saw like this. There are times where you just need a flush cut saw and nothing else is quite going to get in that spot the way you need it. You need something flexible like this. And I hate to say it, but the Japanese do saws better than we do. They just do. They got really serious about it. And these pole saws, they cut a great straight line and they're flexible. And at that price, you got to get one. All right, next up, we got Billy Tools. Look at this. We got magnets, reflectors, and a flashlight, the whole 9 yards here to get the stuff that falls. I'm laughing because the wife dropped her keys behind our sink. You got to understand, I live in an old house, and the kitchen, and some of you younger folks don't know this, but the guys my age and older will understand. They used to sell back in like the 40s and 50s these kitchen inserts where basically you'd buy a kitchen in a box and they'd have, and like the sink and the dishwasher and everything would be like all one giant piece you just popped into place. And that's what we've got in our kitchen. And yes, it needs to get replaced and updated, the whole 9 yards. But that's why there's space behind the sink and the wall, because there's just enough space for keys to fall down there. And she came down to the shop. She's like, I need something to get down there. And she actually used that endoscope, the Teslong endoscope. She used that the other day and then was able to figure out where it was and then get the extend a magnet thing down there to get it. So she was able to rescue her keys. Anyway, for $16.99, 5% off coupon on top of that. We get the Sun I hate these names. But again, this is my favorite go-to cheap, all-in-one, one-and-done kind of screwdriver set. Because look at this. You got standard size screwdrivers, you got mini screwdrivers, you got stubby screwdrivers, you have a bit driver, you got a magnetizer, demagnetizer, and you have the case for $30. For a DIYer, this is a great starting set. For somebody who needs a portable tools, or like to go on the RV or on the boat, or just be able to throw in the truck for when you need it. You don't want to take your good tools with you. Again, another great set there for you. Next up, Duratech slim wrenches. I like going with slim wrenches. For slim wrenches and stuff like this, I think Duratech's a great brand. I don't care who you are. Unless you're a pro who's using these all the time, I get it. Then go with something better. But for everybody else, because they're not the tool you use all the time, but they're the tool that when you need it, brother, you really need it. And for $20 here, the 44% off, they will get you out of a jam. And it's the kind of thing here. This is a super thin open-end wrench set, 8-piece metric, 5.5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27. How they do that? Well, the different sizes on either end. So that's how you get it out of that many pieces. But that said, nice roll-up bag with it. Duratech makes decent, entry-level, DIY level kind of stuff. Not entry-level, DIY kind of stuff. They make good stuff. I wouldn't normally recommend it to the pro, but for the casual pro, value pro, who doesn't need to use them all the time, they get them. And if you end up breaking them or something, then maybe you're using it enough. You need to step up to the next level, but at least it should get you through most of your stuff. Anyway, let's keep going here. Wheeler, I can't say enough about this. Wheeler, of course, they've been making stuff for long distance paper punchers for years. This is a great pin punch set here. Set was 9 steel punches, labeled roll-up storage bag for what kind of maintenance and smithing. 29% off of list, down to $22.67. Next up, we got the Cartman. You must respect my toolkit. Anyway, $93.99. This is not a great kit. I'm not saying this is the kit that you need to buy and it's going to be, no. I like these kits. Every one of my cars or trucks, whatever, every single one of them has a kit almost exactly like, there it is over this one, almost exactly like this one. The names keep changing on it as people buy them. They buy them in bulk, they put their brand on it, then they resell it, whatever. But I keep a kit like this in my car at all times. That way, if it goes on walkabout, I don't cry. It's not my good tools. You're going to get basic set of wrenches, a good selection of sockets. You got your ratchets. You got an adjustable wrench. You got a tongue and groove wrench. You got needle nose and snips and some screwdrivers and some Allens and some bits and a bunch of stuff. A nice fold up case, super slim for me in a pickup truck, slides behind that back seat kind of thing. And again, every one of my trucks has one of these. My son's car has one. They're not super nice tools. They're emergency, so just so you have it kind of tools. All right, next up we've got Wilton. This is a nice workbench here, 6.5-inch jaw with 4-inch throat on it, $257. That is 56% off a list on this. And you know what? This one bounces around on sale. It is not as cheap as it went for Black Friday. Black Friday, I'm checking, $238, I think is what we had on Black Friday. But since then, this thing has been selling at over $300. At well over $300. And here we are at $257. This is a solid deal. Unless you want to wait for it. I'm not talking spring Black Friday. I'm talking actual Black Friday. If you think you can wait that long, great. But if not, to save yourself 20 bucks, I don't know. Would you rent this thing for 20 bucks for the next 6 months? I would, so buy it now. Anyway, limited time deal on this, $257.80 for a Wilton Vise. Next up, we've got the Weha Insulated high leverage cutters here, $25.54 on these. Weha, the #1 seller, at least the data I have, says they're the #1 seller in North America of insulated tools. Fantastic, well-made tools here. I can't say enough about them. $25.54 on it. Be smart. Don't screw around when it comes to working with mains. Get yourself some good insulated tools. Next up, Vessel. I love me some Vessel screwdrivers, and we've been lucky enough to get deal after deal after deal this year. I don't know what's going on over there. These are the Megadora 6-piece, comes in a paper box. I don't think there's a tray with this one, unfortunately. Usually, a lot of them, there's a tray. This set does not have the tray. But we got JIS tips on these, and we got this is the actual made in Japan set. This is a fantastic set. They're really ergonomic. They feel good in the hand. They've got the little grippy things on the teeth there. They will bite into a screw. It's there's no question about it. Great screwdriver set here. Look at, they even got the knurling. You all know how I feel about knurling there. $51.57, 26% off a list. Next up, Gear Wrench, 16-piece ratchet and combination wrench set. This is one of their higher-end wrench sets here. This is a great set, 16-piece, all right, metric. You're coming in at 14% off a list at $109. Now, this is almost no skip. It starts, I think, at like 8 or something like that. It starts, let me come down here. It starts pretty low. I had it before, and of course, I forgot it. So we got 8mm, no skip up to 22, and then one skip up to 24, plus you get the wrench rack, of course, with it. Oh boy, the plastic wrench rack. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Gear Wrench. They're the original tool truck alternative. This is prosumer value, pro level kind of tools here. They've got one level above this in the selectable, reversible ratcheting wrenches. So this isn't quite their top of the line, but it's near their top of the line. Solid set there. All right, next up, we got their screwdrivers here with the foam insert. 9-piece here. It's only 7% off, but for those of you looking for those foam inserts, I'm always trying to find the deals for you. Looks great in the old toolbox, and gives you the benefit of being able to open your toolbox and be like, oh yeah, I'm missing that one screwdriver. I better go find it. All right, next up we've got the hook and pick set long reach on this. I've been a big fan of these tools. The Gear Wrench makes some great value hook and pick sets here, coming in at $37.99, 38 bucks. Call it what it is. 17% off of MSRP on that one. All right, now this one we got to talk about because we've talked about deals like this before. So here's what we got here. This is the DeWalt Power Stack. Now this isn't the little tiny one. This is the 5 amp hour power stack. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's the 5 amp hour power stack, but it's not sold by DeWalt and it's not sold by Amazon. This is sold by Shifty Dude number 5. Now it's smooth sales number 1. Does that just not make you want to trust him? It makes me want to trust him. Anyway, here's the deal. Normally I would not, I don't know. This kind of thing where you're adults, you can make your choice yourself. That's a really nice battery that usually costs a whole bunch of money. $229, and they're not lying about the list price on this. $229, that's what these suckers sell for normally. 61% off is what we're talking. Now, my guess is these are what we call gray market. All right, like they were supposed to be part of like a bundle set, and then they didn't sell enough of them, and then they were going to return them, but they didn't want to take them back, so it gets sold to a wholesaler, so somebody buys a big bundle of them, or they fill off the back of a cargo ship. Who knows? Anyway, here's the deal. If you buy it from Smooth Sales, you will probably have a hard time getting DeWalt to warranty it. But it's a battery. It's going to last X amount of times. It's your call. I mean, get it. If you do get it out of the plastic, run it through the charger, run a couple cycles through it, make sure it works before like 30 days or whatever, how much time Amazon's going to give you. And then if you have a problem, you can be like, hey, Amazon, get my money back from these guys, and Amazon will take care of you. And that's why I'm willing to show this stuff. Anyway, again, I've said it enough. You're adults, you make the call on that. All right, next up, we've got Ideal. No, one. There's one of these left, just one. So one of you who was paying attention through this whole thing, actually going to stumble across this deal, is going to get it, because this thing is normally way more expensive. How much is it normally? I think it's like $80. $86.88 is the normal price on this. There's one left. This is made in the USA, insulated long nose pliers by Ideal. Okay, great pliers, great company. If most of you are going to miss out on this. The first guy who watches is going to buy it, and you're going to be screwed. Bookmark the page and come back Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because sometimes they'll be like, all right, they're back up to the regular price, but then no one buys it, then it sinks back down. That's how the algorithm pricing works. A bunch of people run out. You see these deals, I'm talking about them. People are like, well, I can't get that deal. Well, you got to be here quick. That's why you got to be subscribed and you got to ring the bell. Otherwise, how are you going to get the deals before everyone else runs over and gets them and drives the price up? But then what you can do is, if you really want it, bookmark that page and then come back every so often, and then you'll have a chance at getting that price as the price cools back down. All right, pro tip there for you. All right, next up, we got SunX Super Jumbo. I'm always looking out for the Super Jumbo kind of stuff. 4-piece wrench set here for $167, 25% off a list. We got the Kenmore. This is a nice little shop vac. This looks very much like you know who is making. Of course, Kenmore doesn't make anything. They OEM all the stuff. $87.99 limited time deal on that for a 5-peak horsepower 2-stage with the HEPA. Nice little rolling kind of system there. It's got all the attachments. It's got the round filter. It's got the HEPA filters with it. Nice little wet dry vac. Next up, we've got Crescent HK Porter compact bolt cutters. All right. We've talked about different type of bolt cutters like this. Crescent makes some decent ones, 48% off. 48%. Let me do my price checking on that, because I don't know. Normally $42. It's been dropping down recently. Last price was $35. So it kind of, went right off a cliff down to $18. That is a grab it now kind of price, brother. You got to get that one. All right, we got the Bosch rotary hammer, corded, of course, 28% off, limited time deal. This is the 1 9/16 there, the RH540M. If you want to look up, do some research on it, better act quick. It says limited time deal down to $316.55. All right, and we got a Triton tool here. We don't see these very much on sale, much less just in general. But one left at this price, 55% off, down to $60. Next up, we got Westinghouse pressure washer here. I'm a big fan of this pressure washer. I love the spider-like legs on it, because one of the things with these taller pressure washers, like the Portland one from Harbor Freight, it works good enough, but I'm constantly knocking the sucker over. And with this, with that the old wide stance, if you guys know what I mean, the wide stance on that lets it slide around easier without getting knocked over. The cord's pulling from the bottom, not the top, so it's not going to fall over like that. You got 4 tips. You got the turbo nozzle. it's a decent, it's not a super high-end electric pressure washer. Don't think that's what this is. But it's got a nice form factor, and if you're constantly rolling around having your pressure washers tip over and you're just tired of it, this might be the solution for you. Next up, we've got the Karcher case. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Karcher? This is a 2100 PSI pressure washer. This one will get tipped over, but Karcher makes some really good products, okay? They make all up to industrial level products, and they make good, solid electric pressure washers that just work. For $117, 1.45 GPM, that might be the one for you to look at. Next up, we got the Kubi Tyla folding pocket knives. Now, this is one I have talked about for some time, and I have this one. Let me switch over so you can see what I'm talking about. I got it right over here. This is one of my favorite little pocket knives I picked up. Actually, I take it back. I think Kubi sent this to me. It's on sale right now, $40 on it. It's a front flipper. See, I didn't get it that time. My arm's all extended because I'm trying to work this thing here. There we go. Is it the nicest knife out there? No, I really like the handle on this thing though. It's got great texture, good grip. It's just a great, workhorse of a knife. I don't treat this thing well, and it doesn't have a problem with that. I mean, I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of liner locks and whatnot, but you know what? It does what it's supposed to do, and it doesn't complain about it. And while we're over here, I'm going to show you this because I know it's coming up here shortly. This is the Night Core flashlight, and they sent this thing over to me. It's very similar to the flashlight from from Olight, the what is that, the Arclight one thing or whatever it's called. This is one of these flat style flashlights, but it does something a little different. It's got two LEDs up in here, but it will do a turbo mode that does it up to 3,000 lumens. Let me just say that when it will do it. It will do the turbo mode. It is so bright. This thing superheats. It makes me think about, and that's not the only one. They also sent this one over. I'm going to do a video on this one as well. And they both do this turbo. It's like excessively turbo. It's outputting so much juice. This thing heats up to the point where you got to hold it back here. You can't hold it anywhere up here because it gets so hot. And there's a little timer that shows up about how long it's going to last before it turns itself off for safety. It feels like the thing in the movie where the guy goes to the helm of the ship and puts the engines into overload and jams a rod through it so it can't come off, and they're going to melt the whole sucker down. That's what it feels like. And if that's what you're looking for, this is it. Honestly, it's nice and slim. It fits in your pocket. It's got a nice little display. Anyway, let's see if you can see the display on that. It's not going to focus my faces. There you go. Nice display. It's honestly, well, and there's the different modes. Let me see if I can get it into, oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not going to play with that. I'm going to blind myself or someone else. Anyway, you'll see that one coming up here in just a second. Next up we got, there it is right there next. $89.95. The Nitecore EDC 3000 lumen. It's not, the normal use isn't going to be a 3000 lumens. The 3000 is the turbo mode where it tries to melt itself down to Earth's core. But still, honestly, it's a pretty cool flashlight. If you're for everyday use kind of stuff for like regular people, you don't need a flashlight like this. For super geeks who like the cool, cutting edge kind of stuff, who are into that flashlight kind of thing, yeah. And then for those folks at $90, it's not a bad deal. All right, now we're over at woot.com. I just had to throw this one in here. If you've got to move around a lot of stuff that's on a ball hitch kind of thing, this is trying to find one of these at a deal, because I have looked for these things before, and trying to get one of these on a deal is a hard find. And this thing's normally, it's 58% down to $500. So this is not for most people, but for those few people out there who see this, or if you know somebody, send this over to them, because this is a buy it now kind of price for the people who need it. All right, let's keep going here. Ollies, I know nothing about ollies. I've never set foot in an ollies. I drove by one once, so I know they exist. But people talk about them all the time. There's some discount store that's over east of the Mississippi. Anyway, they've been selling not just Under Armour and Peeps, but they've been selling a bunch of the Hart Tools. Now, Hart's not, I just did a video on Hart. Hart's clearly not going away, but Hart likes to rotate through their tool system and come out with new tools all the time and get rid of the old ones. And that's kind of Ollie's bread and butter, is buying stuff that's people don't really want, like say Prime over there or Cliff Bars, and selling them wholesale or whatever through their store. So if you're in the Hart line, go and check them out. Ollie's down there. Again, we'll have links to everything. You can go check it out. All right, next up, we've got Costco has the Coast rechargeable clamp work light. This is a nice work light. I think it normally sells for like $100, and it's in sale right now for $29.97. That's a good deal. Then we're over, still at Costco, the Trinity Workbench. Now, I've often felt these things were overpriced. They don't feel super rugged. They are super nice looking. They look like they should be in a kitchen. Let's be honest about that. But I love that adjustable top. All right. And what you got to think about is when you're working on something, when you got to put a lot of weight and a lot of pressure and really work on something, you want it down low. But if you're doing detail work, you want it up high. And that's what this thing allows you to do. You crank the little wheel, goes up and down. I think it even has some storage underneath. Normally it's $1,300. If you're looking for a nice gleaming stainless steel, cool looking workbench with adjustable top, it's on sale right now over at Costco for $300 off. That's a good amount of savings. Coming in at just under $1,000, $999.99. All right, next up we got over at Sam's Club, we got the works here for you. This is their outdoor bundle kit here. We got a trimmer, we got a 10-inch chainsaw, we got a mini chainsaw, we got a couple batteries, we got a charger, all of that for $150. Seems like a pretty good deal if you got to do some pruning come this spring. You're going to get your lawn in order there. That'll beat her down there for $150. Again, that's over at Sam's. Over at Northern Tool, I want to thank, who was it? Somebody sent this over to me the other day, and they were smart, and they sent it on like Saturday, so I got it in plenty of time before the weekend, that whole thing. It was Hayden. Hayden sent this over to me, so thanks, Hayden. As I say, if you want to send me any deals that you think are good ones that people should take a look at, send them to me. It's red@denatools.com. It's down also, like if you go down, click on the details, find the links. If you keep scrolling down, it has all my contact info. Again, don't send it to me on Tuesday, because if you send them to me on Tuesday, it's going to be gone by next Monday. But if you see it on Saturday or Sunday, send it over. I'm always happy to share the deals you find. So the Ironton Retractable Extension Cord Reel, 40-foot, 12x3, triple tap for $70, down from $90. Was it $100 on that one? Looks like $100 on that. That's a good deal. That's over at Northern Tool, of course. Next up, we got over at Lowe's, we got the Metabo HPT 1 3/4 SDS. So you got a second SDS corded choice here. Metabo HPT coming in at $400. That's $200 off. Then we got over at the Home Depot's, look at this, M18 fuel, cordless, brushless, the blower here. 18 volt, it's tool only, okay? And on top of that, now this is what I don't get. It says that it's a fuel, so I'm expecting high power, but it's saying 450 CFM. That ain't high power for a blower. That's on the lower end. So why is this a fuel? I don't know. Anyway, it's $129. If you're in the red line and you like throwing money at stuff like this, there you go. Anyway, now this one isn't a waste, I think. This is one of my favorite combo kits, actually. It's the Impact and the hammer drill. Not just the drill driver, but the hammer drill with the Impact, 2-tool, with the bit set, with 2 batteries. So you're getting, look at it here, let me come over here. You get the, oh, come on, scroll up here. There we go. You're getting the 2.0 battery, the 4.0 battery, the charger, the bag, both of the tools, and free with this, you're getting the 5 amp hour battery on top of that. And yes, this is hackable. For those of you who want to do that, you can hack this and knock that number down, give them the 5 amp hour battery back, and you get to knock that thing down. Or you can return that and just keep the 5 amp hour battery for a cheaper price. Your choice on that. Dealer's choice, as they say. Anyway, this one, somebody sent this to me, and I don't remember who it was, but they said they saw in store. And I've actually seen a couple comments about this. This is the DS779, DWS779. This is the basic 12-inch sliding miter saw. It does not have the drop shadow light. So it's not the DWS 780, which is the top of the line, but it's close. And it's been selling. I mean, look at this. 600. This came out as a Black Friday stripped down special about 5 years ago. And now it is a $600 saw. Anyway, that said, it's a good saw. It's a solid saw. I'm not spending $600 on it. But that said, I've heard rumors, at least one person said that they didn't get a picture, but that it's selling clearance in some stores for $225, I think I want to say. Got to go in store. It's going to be your mileage may vary. Don't yell at me because your store doesn't have it at that price. But if you do grab one, I want to hear it down in the comments. We need some verification on this. Next up, let's see here. We got over at Direct Tools. Of course, that's TTI's Clearing House. Up to 35% off on a bunch of stuff over there. You just have to go through. If you're in the Ryobi line, you got to go take a look at it. But look at this, 35, 7%, 7, 35 snowblower. Imagine that. Anyway, a ton of Ryobi stuff on sale right now. They're just blowing things away over there. They're just clearing out house, getting ready for the spring and summer season. So go check it out. All right, next up we got, this is a bonus item. We get the Sora Chef's Knife from Shon. This is normally $125. This is, for those of you who don't know, Shon makes some of the best affordable Japanese style knives. $125 is a legit price on this. $80 on this is a great price on that. Just for those of you looking at that sort of stuff, you can check it out. And then we got a couple generators here for you. We got the Anker Solix. Of course, Anker, big friend of the channel. I have one of these, and I tell you what, I love this thing. It's my take it with me everywhere kind of generator, or I should say power station. It's on sale right now for $1,400, down from list price of $2,000, 30% off on that one. And the other one we got for you, this is actually a really nice generator from Champion. This is their 4,500 watt RV ready inverter generator with it's fully enclosed, super quiet with the CO shield protect there, so you're not going to gas yourself out with it. It's on sale right now, down 20% off a list to $655. Anyway, that's all the deals we got for you. I want to thank today's sponsors again for supporting the channel. Go and check them out. They're supporting us. You should support them. Not saying you have to buy it, but at least go take a look at it. How about that? All right. Anyways, make sure you stick around, and also make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the other deals. Also, next week, I'm going to be in Vegas, baby, for National Hardware Show, so make sure you stick around for that. Make sure we're going to try and do daily updates while we're down there. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.